Hey guys, Chef Jason Hill here, and I know a lot of us use the boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and after a while they can get kind of boring. So I'm going to show you how to smoke it on my pellet grill, and we're going to use a rub and a nice citrus glaze. So let's get started. All right, to make our easy chicken rub, we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of paprika, followed by 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Next, I've got 2 teaspoons of sugar in the raw, followed by 1 teaspoon of fresh cracked black peppercorns. Next, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And then for a little heat and to make the flavors pop, we're going to add a pinch of cayenne, or about an 1/8 teaspoon. And then just whisk that up. So many variations of rubs. All right, now let's move on to our glaze, or also it's referred to as a mop. Our citrus glaze is going to call for about 1 cup of fresh squeezed orange juice, and I use 2 large oranges. And before I cut into them, I like to rub them around a little bit to kind of loosen them up and get the juice in there to break apart from the membrane, and it'll juice a lot easier. And just squeeze as hard as you can, get as much juice out as possible. Each half should give us 1/4 cup. We'll hopefully get a full cup out of this. And if you don't want to use fresh orange juice, go ahead and use some concentrate. Well, here was an afterthought. I just been busy all day and I totally spaced out. Before I cut the oranges up and juiced them, I should have taken my little zester and used some fresh zest. So I'm going to work at this for a minute. It's kind of ugly, but I want some of that fresh zest. All right, here I have a small bowl with about 1 teaspoon of honey. I'm going to sprinkle in some of that zest, and I'll probably use about 1 teaspoon, followed by our fresh squeezed orange juice. And then 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And then finally, after you get that mixed up, we're going to pour in 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And I just melted that in my microwave. Here's a little tip. A lot of times when I'm cooking breast halves like this that are boneless and skinless, put down a sheet of plastic, cover them with plastic, and then I pound them out. This helps them become a little more tender, cook more evenly, and it just makes it a little bit better product. All right, now I'm just going to remove the top layer of plastic. Get rid of that, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit of our rub on each side and pack it in there. All right, now that our chicken is covered with the rub, I'm going to let it sit covered for 20 minutes at room temperature. Okay, now I'm going to take about half of our glaze here, or mop, and drizzle it over the top. And just kind of spread it around a little bit. It's a mop. We're mopping on the glaze. And we're going to save the other half for the grill. All right, I have my pellet grill preheated to 220. I'm going to lay these on there, skin side down. I know there's no skin on here, but that's where the skin would have been. And I'm going to lay each one on there. Get our little thermometer in there. So I'm going to go into the thicker part. All right, this should go for about 1/2 hour. Okay, about halfway through the cooking process, I like to give these guys one more mop. That's why we kept some on reserve. Just a little bit. They're almost ready. All right, our internal temperature of the chicken is at about 161, which is okay because these are going to cook a little bit longer to 165 once we pull them off the grill. I did turn these halfway through, and I just don't want to keep playing with them because you got to keep all this heat in there, this indirect heat, so you don't want to open up the lid too much while you're doing this. Oh man, look at these guys. Smoked to perfection. Let's go inside and eat. And keep this on the lighter side. Serve it with a little mound of my homemade coleslaw. And we'll put a nice piece of the chicken right there. Serve this with your favorite barbecue sauce on the side for dipping, and hope you enjoy. Thanks for tuning in.